Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd. And as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
A leisurely Mexican holiday takes a turn for the worse when a group of friends and a fellow tourist embark on a remote archaeological dig in the jungle where something evil lives among the ruins. That's right, we watched The Ruins from 2008.
Yes, and welcome back to
Yes,
Horror
we were
PSA.
away. Yeah.
There was COVID. There
Saul
was
got
work.
the vid.
Yep.
Yes, he did. And it sucked
Yes.
very, very much.
COVID is still out there, people. Get your shots.
Okay, so this was my first time watching this movie. What about you guys?
We had seen it. I don't remember when we saw it, but we saw it a long time ago.
Yeah, it was probably an HBO watch.
Yeah,
whenever
it was one
first
like
hit.
we watched it and then never watched it again.
Yeah.
It was like one of those one-off ones.
The thing that I remember is just the advertisement for it, because I always thought it had something to do with the cave because of how the beginning of it starts with that girl in the cave. So I was like, okay, this is a cave movie, but as it progressed, I'm like, no, it's just a killer Aubrey from whatchamacallit, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep, pretty much. But
Yeah, I think-
mimic people.
I think it may have gotten lost in the shuffle with some of those other like cave movies because I think like The Descent and like there's a couple other ones were around that
Yeah,
time.
I think that's
I-
the one that I initially got it confused with. Was
Yeah,
The
it
Descent.
looked like it was like, all right, it's just another cave movie. Yeah, so I think that's probably why we didn't watch it when it first came out. But I think, HBO or something,
Yeah.
whenever it hit that, we were like, let's just give it a watch.
And I don't hate the story. I mean, I think it's an interesting story about like how there's still deep sects of Mayans in the wilderness of Mexico.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that whole
They have
route.
deep sex in the
They do. I mean, they do.
Well, look,
right?
the crazy thing is,
They're Mayan.
if you go to Mexico City, there's a freaking Mayan temple in the middle of the city. It's
Yeah.
just there. It's just there. And to think of parts of Mexico like that, obviously they're going to be like that. More of it's going to be buried back into like their jungle and into the rural parts of it. But it's crazy how there's just a pyramid in the middle of a giant ass city.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you would think that there are probably some just out there that we don't really know about. I mean, I'm not going out into the fucking wilderness of Mexico. My ass will fry in the sun. I can't do that.
There's plenty of jungle cover.
Well, the thing about it though with this movie is it reiterates my disdain for not wanting to go outside or going on any sort of trip or going on any sort of adventure because of shit like this.
I know. And I almost
Like,
wanted
I'm
to
already
be
eaten
like,
by plants.
why was the doctor boyfriend even with these people? Because like these people seemed like they just wanted to drink and like be beach people, right?
Yeah.
Like they were on they're on
Yeah.
their spring break, like they just wanted to get hammered. But doctor was like, I want to go see all the stuff. I'm like, why are you here with him?
Well, okay, I do love the fact that in the beginning, though, when they have that one line when they first meet Matthias or whatever, and he was like, how do you all know each other? And the other boyfriend, Eric, was like, oh, they're best friends and we're their boyfriends.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, like, we're not friends. Like, we're just here because of the girls kind of thing.
We are mutual
Yeah.
acquaintances.
We have to be here, basically. but I do think the doctor
funny thing about-
boyfriend... The doctor boyfriend and definitely so Amy was her name, right? Jeff and Amy, the doctor, and I
Yeah.
think was she a nurse or was she?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think she was.
I don't
They
know
definitely-
what she was.
They definitely gave that vibe of like they should have broke up years ago.
Yeah, like they haven't hit the like thing that's made them break up yet, but this might be the thing that makes them
it's
break
like we
up.
have no reason to, and we've just been together so long, and blah blah blah. Like I don't know, it just seemed
Yeah.
weird.
I do like the actors in this movie. I mean, Jonathan Tucker, he was in it was Jeff, I believe, the doctor boyfriend.
Yeah,
He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake in 2004, 2003, whichever year that came out. But he was good in that one. I liked him in that one. I don't mind him in this. He's not terrible in this. Like I believe him as the odd one out.
Yeah.
He
And then
definitely-
Shawn Ashmore,
yeah,
who was Iceman in X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's hard not to think of that when you see him in any other movie.
Yeah, and Jenna Malone,
ones.
she was in the Hunger Games, and she's in a new movie that just came out, a new horror movie that just came out not too long ago. I don't remember that.
And it wasn't until later that Kim looked him up. The guy who played Matthias, he was in the
the
Crazy.
Crazy.
Crazies. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he was
the crazy
What
sheriff.
was his name?
I didn't recognize. I didn't recognize him, so I had to look back on some of his pictures, and then finally I'm like, oh, now I recognize.
Well, he has his hair's a lot blonder playing a German in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
the
and
thing that threw
he has
me
the whole
off. is because-
accent.
Yeah, he had the accent. He
Russell.
didn't have the facial hair, and he didn't have the beard. No, he didn't have the beard, and he had the blonde hair. That's what threw me off. So it took me a while to pick up that it was him, and then I'm like, oh crap, it is him.
What about the lead Mayan? Where'd you recognize him from?
Ah, damn it.
I could recognize
That's
him,
the
but I
only
couldn't
guy-
place it for anything.
That yeah.
He's
that's
from
one
Pirates of the
thing I remember,
Caribbean.
I don't remember where.
Ah, see the Vicarious
Oh,
Frenchman?
okay.
No. He was Captain Villanueva. No, so when they're going in line voting for themselves to be king of the captains or whatever,
Yeah.
he's like Captain Villanueva, and then you gotta be like Captain Chevalier, the Vicarious Frenchman.
Yeah,
And, like,
that
they all
one.
vote for each other, and like, yeah, he's the
See it?
Spanish captain.
Ah.
See, I might know for something else because I can't watch the Pirates of the Caribbean movie because I can't. stand
He was also in. Remember the first Men in Black, where they
Yes.
pull over
Ah,
the
Yes,
bus.
yes.
He was the
Okay,
one that
yes.
that they catch that was an alien.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely remember him from that, if not in
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Okay.
I thought their little whole setup was interesting, where like they just come and the whole village kind of camps out around the ruins, keeping
it's-
everyone there.
It definitely
We gotta
gives
make
you, like,
sure.
it definitely gives you like this sense of like this is our duty, like this is the only reason like we're still here. So I'm like, why don't you just burn it all then? Like do
Right?
something,
Like-
like slowly
what I
kill it
thought.
all. Like, or I mean, I don't know, unless it was one of those things that was like because it was on this temple, like we can't do anything to it, so we must like
That's stupid.
if anything happens, then we're just gonna let it feed, and we're gonna stay out of it. You know, like,
That's
I don't know.
stupid.
Like,
I'm just saying.
hey,
That's some
religion is
stupid
stupid,
shit. All right.
okay?
I'm not standing around worshiping a fucking carnivorous plant. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm burning that shit to the ground.
The thing that I found odd is I think it was Jeff who mentioned it after he realized, okay, the plants are eating everybody. And then they realized, oh, there's no vegetation around it. So they're salting the earth. They're making sure nothing gets there. I'm like, who's constantly watching you to make sure like no birds or anything are landing on it and getting some of that stuff taken away?
Oh
Because
no.
obviously,
Jeff says they've learned not to
Yeah,
land
he
here.
has a line
Oh,
about it.
okay,
He's
okay.
like, have you noticed no insects come? Birds know not to land here. The horses were afraid. Like he's like,
yeah.
everything's learned not to come here. There's something wrong. I think this was before they figure out it was the plants.
yeah.
But yeah, once they figured out it was the plants, I had a whole like it was a whole like the jerk moment in my head where it's like they're afraid of the plants.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, but I'm like,
What?
okay, they're afraid of the plants, so just throw them at them and get out.
Right? I mean, they
Yeah.
really, if she threw it at the kid, right? And they shot
Yeah.
the kid, I'm like, throw it at the big dude.
Like while they're all
Throw it at
standing
the
there,
main guy.
It's like
not
throw
paying
it at the
attention,
people
or
with
even at
weapons.
the end when he does the whole trick, to get her. I'm like, she can get up, grab the plants, and start throwing it at all the women, and then like throw it all. And then he can grab them, throw it at all the men. Like boom, you're done. Either we all die or we figure this the fuck out. We
Okay,
we go bathe in salt.
I just have to say
Mhm.
again, this is another movie that people don't make the best choices.
Oh, no.
I'm
No,
not
they don't.
going to Mexico and following a German dude to some ruins that he found or figured out. Like that's just
Oh,
not,
no.
I'm
Hey.
not doing it. Like that
They-
just
they-
sounds
what
like
is
a
it?
bad
They-
choice. And
They
I
got like
love
a
how
marker and they wrote it on the map on how to get to this place.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, no, thank you. And then relying like they're like if we don't check out, the hotel's gonna call the well, nobody knows where you are, dumbass.
No, his line was like, Americans don't just go missing on vacation. I'm like, check
Like,
your
they
privilege,
do.
Jeff.
Yeah.
No one
Like-
gives a shit. Okay, horror PSA. No one gives a shit about Americans outside of America.
No one
So if
cares.
you go missing in another country, no one's gonna give a shit. They
They're
will
like,
just
okay.
take your stuff out, and your room is not paid for. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna rent the next.
They're
room,
just
like,
gonna
whatever.
put your
Oh,
shit in the
well.
lost and found with
Yeah.
everybody else's. That's what they're gonna do.
They'll be like, oh, well, yeah, but yeah, when he went into that rant about how, they're going to see that we missed our flight. They're going to see that we didn't check out of our hotel room. And then somebody's going to come looking for us. Our parents are going to come looking for us. I'm like, it's Mexico. They're not going to help you.
And they're not gonna find you because you
Yeah,
didn't
they're not gonna
go.
find
You
you.
went somewhere off the beaten path, meaning no one is going to know where that is.
And his whole thing, I'm like, we just need to survive a few days. And I'm like, okay, so if your plane left in 2 days, and then it would take another day or so for maybe your parents to get something going to figure out where the fuck you are. Like, still, no one's gonna be able to like, let's go look at these random temples that no one knows about, because this guy and his brother's girlfriend are the only people that really know about it.
Wasn't his even brother's girlfriend? He said they met her there. So it's just people
wouldn't even
meeting
know.
each other, being like, "Hey, let's go to those ruins that are off the beaten path." Like, bitch, no.
I don't
No.
know.
You
wouldn't even know.
Okay. In Heinrich, which is Matthias's brother's name, right? In Heinrich's defense, you're in Mexico, you're having a crazy time, and some chick's like, you ever bang in a Mayan temple? Okay, let's do it, baby.
I mean, I'm not saying that 20-year-old Angie didn't
Hey.
get it, but I'm just saying now in this life, don't do that,
Fine.
kids. That's dumb.
Just travel with
No.
flammable stuff so you can make a fire in case you need to repel the carnivorous plants.
No, I loved is it Amy? Amy's whole I didn't want to come. I wanted to stay in the hotel. Like, I didn't want to be here, man.
See,
I
no,
was trying to have a hangover
The
in
whole
the
time-
hotel room.
The whole way through the movie, I nicknamed her Whiny Amy, but I'm like, but they do it in such a way that it is her whining, but it's also like she's making the most sense though.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
that's like, I love that the fact that they do it, that it makes her seem whiny. So you, even as an audience member, are be like, God, just shut up, Amy. Like, it's such a thing that's like you take the smarts out of it by making her the whiny
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Even though she's
Yeah.
the only one that, she survives at the end. I'm like, because you wind your way to the top, I guess.
No, I really liked, like how you said, everybody was just like shitting on her. Like when she's like, "No, Jeff, they have to help us," and she goes back down the temple
Yeah.
after
okay.
they're up there, and she's like, "Help!" Like she's actually like trying to communicate with these people, and by getting that kid killed, she did kind of help move along the fact that it's the vines. Like
Yeah.
that's how they figured it out. Like she did throw and get a whole kid murdered, even though she didn't really think that was going to happen. But
Yeah.
No.
that led them to be like, okay, it's these vines. Like cut and dry. It's the vines.
Yeah. I don't know. See, that's the whole part where I'm like, just start throwing them everywhere.
Yeah. Fuck it, man.
Sure,
And
funny,
no,
man.
like poor little Ice Boy. I was like, you should have just listened to that kid the first night and just been like, hey, look over here. And Ice Boy could have ran off, got the
Mhm.
fucking thing going, just like she did at the end. I'm like, no, I just go, just run. Like, don't be trying to reason with people you can't speak to. I don't
Yeah.
see
So-
that.
Speaks.
And they weren't even speaking Spanish. They were speaking.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
Jeffy,
Mayan.
Yeah, Jeffy would say
Yeah.
that's not Spanish. I don't know what the fuck they're speaking, but it's not Spanish.
It's not, they don't speak Spanish, Amy. I don't know what to do. And poor Jeff. Jeff's out here making all the wrong choices. I mean, Matthias, he fell down the hole, man. None of them saw that coming, right? I mean,
No,
that's nobody's
no.
fault.
Well, hold on. How is it no one's fault when you were like, I mean, I get it that you didn't check the rope beforehand because you're like, all right, obviously we hear a cell phone. There's people down there. This rope's probably safe. But I
This
was
was
like,
probably the dig. Like they
I'm like,
reasoned it.
I don't know, man. Like you still should probably like send the lightest person. I don't know. Like, I guess Matthias was the lightest dude, but still like,
Well, and he
I don't
kind of
know.
like
he did kind of volunteer.
He did.
just
He
jumped right
volunteered
in
because he
there.
thought it was his brother. He's
Yeah.
like, that's my
He's like-
brother's cell phone. I'm gonna go down. But yeah, I mean, and Amy said something. She saw something. She said something. Not that anybody could have done anything at that point, but
Yeah.
they did try. They were like, fuck.
I do have to say their fucking Three Stooges version of trying to pick Matthias back in his broken back
Oh
up.
God.
Oh.
Because I'm like, okay, because the whole thing about it, I was like, she's like, I'll grab his feet. She's like, no, grab his hips, or his you'll break his back or whatever. She's like, but if I grab his hips, his back will arch. And then Amy's like, all right, we'll grab his knees. I'm like, that's not a place to fucking compromise
No.
right there.
No.
Like, he's
like-
like, I can't feel my legs. And like, okay,
I don't
let's lift
get
them.
how they were like, we have to build a backboard, right? And they
Mhm.
know that the whole thing doesn't go all the way down. Like, find a board or something to like slip under him, do the least amount of damage, keep him as straight as possible. But yeah, when they're crying in the tent later and her friend is like, my fault. I'm like, bitches, it's both your fault. Y'all just,
Yeah, they definitely have that moment. They're like, we're never going to talk about this again.
yeah, we're just going to call
If
that
we survive.
major mistake. We're not picking anybody up.
Just no
Broken
next time
again.
that I'm out of
Do you know how bad it was when they went to go pick him up and you're like, okay, you saw his back arch. They're like, yeah, no.
You heard that crunch? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that crunch. And
I
like they
like-
go together. I'm like, oh God.
I was like, this is straight Three Three Stooges fucking slapstick like physical comedy from the fucking like 40s or whatever the fuck that was.
It is
like,
pure distress. Like, I mean, what else do you do? Like, they had nothing down there. Like, I get it. Like, but they made the worst possible choice that they could.
And like, okay, you knew that the rope didn't go all the way down, and obviously you don't know how far because was it Stacy?
Yeah.
Stacy never came back up, so they're like
Yeah.
she couldn't say like we need 10 more feet or whatever. But I mean, she probably wouldn't be able to estimate anyway because it was so dark. But they did make that kind of cradle thing to hold the backboard. So I'm like, they probably figured that added another couple feet. But I'm like, you needed at least 5-6 more feet to get to the ground.
Yeah,
Which you really needed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if they found like a 2x4 or anything just to put underneath him to lift him up and support, just to keep that main part straight, like something, anything, man.
Just
I felt that was bad for him because he gets his back broken, and then when they had to cut off his legs, I'm like,
Oh no! Like first, when they first like see the vines really going after Amy, or not Amy, Stacy, when it's in her leg, and that's when they wake, or he starts freaking out, and he's like, something's wrong, show me my legs.
Yeah.
And the vines are all eating him. I'm like, fuck, man. I just go. I'm like, if I get shot, I get shot. I ain't getting eaten by no fucking plants. That's just me.
Start a fire.
And plus,
that's what you do. That's what you always do. You kill it with fire.
You do. And I mean, they had alcohol.
Yeah.
They could have made something happen.
They ended up making those. They ended up making those torches later.
Yeah,
the girls go down to look for the phone again.
I love when they're down in the temple, and when Stacy's in there, when she's waiting for them to make the whole back brace and everything, and they hear the phone ringing, and she goes to look for it. And well, like she puts the light up or whatever, and you see the whole thing move, and it looks like there's somebody in there, and she's like, I want to come back up. I just want to come back up right now. Like, I just need to get out of here.
Like, I'm noping out of here. I need out. Like, bring me back. Send the rope.
Yeah, and poor Stacy. I felt so bad for Stacy. Bitch got eaten from the inside out.
That was like, she had the most tragic story of all of them.
She really did. I mean,
it was like, she went crazy. She went fucking, because like she didn't go crazy, but she was, because no one believed her. So it was like being, I know the truth is driving me crazy. Like,
I know. I love when she has that line. She's like, you keep saying I'm okay, but I'm not okay. Stop saying I'm okay.
I can feel it. It's not okay.
Like, bitch, I can see it in my leg. Do you see this? I'm not okay. Yeah, I would freak out. If I saw something in my leg, there's no way you would ever convince me it wasn't in there.
Okay, so I want to talk about
when she pulled it out too. Like, it's like, okay, they pulled out what, the one from her leg, and you would think, okay, that's not just going to be the only one.
Oh yeah, and they got the one like in her back that was bigger, and I was like, oh yeah, there's so many more.
I think at that point he kind of was like, we can't do anymore, or she's gonna like bleed out.
Oh yeah, he said there's no more cutting. Like there's no more cutting.
You gotta stop for now,
And you knew she was screwed when she said, I feel it in my head. And
when she takes a drink. Yeah, when she took that drink of tequila, and I'm like, yeah, just dehydrate it. That's what you should have done. Like, just fucking dehydrate that bitch. It crawled out itself. Like, what is this?
Yeah, just get super drunk.
Right.
I do want to point out, Saul, that they did have the shit water debate when they were sitting there by the pool drinking the blended margaritas. She was like, it's shit water. You're all just drinking blended shit. Like, what was the point of making Matthias look like he was like up to something sinister with them? Like,
I think it was that
it just
they
to
both
throw it off?
Well, see, when we watched it the second time, because we watched this twice for this episode, because like I said, we watched it once forever ago and never watched it again. The second time around, it more felt like he was kind of weary of them, and they were kind of weary of him, kind of a thing. And so I'm like, is this just supposed to come across as like, oh, we just met on vacation, like awkwardness?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
because he does, like, when Amy goes to make out with him, he's like, Jeff's a nice guy. No, like he does push her away, and when she starts like full on, he's like,
have
hey,
a boyfriend.
Hey.
He's pointing at it, like motioning to the other two friends. Like, But no, it just
Like,
it's
she's a
just
little
that little quick thing where it looked like he's drinking that beer, and then it's like he's looking over at them. Like it just makes it seem like those other movies were like, oh, now he's gonna take
like he's up to something.
He's
Yeah.
gonna steal their.
Well, I also think
kidneys.
like he was like, I'm gonna go with these Greeks who are really, really drunk. Maybe if I could get these
Yeah.
Americans to go with me, maybe they're more chill.
Yeah,
So maybe he
maybe.
was just like scoping the chill Americans out so he could get some more help.
These people don't seem too bad. You guys are not crazy.
I mean, and realistically, it was gonna go terrible with either group. I mean,
he literally does it. They're crazy in the head.
yeah. And I
The
love
other
how
part of those too is another one of their plans was to allow the Greeks to find them.
wait for the Greeks
Like,
to
we
find
just gotta
them.
wait. They're like, and then one of them was like, "What if they ever sober up?" He's like, "Did you see? Remember how they were the last time we saw?" And it's funny, spoiler at the end, how they just stumble on it. They're like, "Oh, this is where they are."
No, well, they leave him the map, but I'm like, you left it under
Yeah.
his cheek on the beach where he was passed out.
Well, that's gonna stick to his face.
He doesn't
He
seem
was-
responsible.
He was that passed out that nothing was gonna come off his face until he woke up.
My thing is it's just going to transfer onto his face. They're going to have
Yeah.
to read the map off that dude's face for the next
Yep.
3 to 5 days.
No, he has a
Don't
few
wipe your
drinks.
face,
He
don't wipe
starts sweating, puts his face back onto the map, and
Mm.
sweats it back on.
Transfer. Gotcha. But yeah, when they had to cut poor Matthias's legs off, I was like, I don't think you have the tools for that, Jeff.
Like, yeah, I do. And he pulled out like the smallest pocket knife.
The
I'm like,
smallest pocket knife and a
Jeff.
bottle of tequila. Like,
yeah.
I get it. You got to work with what you got. But I don't know. Matthias kind of was like, I'm like, Matthias might be crazy already because like he's like, cut him off.
No.
Cut him off.
Now, I don't know. Okay. I kind of took that more as, I mean, obviously, I think I even said this during the movie when I was like, he can hear you guys. Like all those conversations you're having are like 2 feet away.
I know
from
they
him.
keep talking about him like he's in a coma, but he's just right there.
It's even when Jeff and Eric are arguing about it, and before they vote, he's like, "You can't cut off his leg." I'm like, "He is right there, guys."
Just
Like,
ask
he
him,
can fucking-
man.
And then he like cut them off. I think that was more
He
of
can
him like,
hear you.
I don't want to suffer with whatever fucking infection. And plus, it's like if we ever plan on getting out of here, then I can't have some infection. I don't want to get out of here and then die of a fucking infection that we could have saved if I just
Yeah.
cut my legs off. kind of
It's like
thing.
the fucking worst, though. I mean, you get in a
Yeah.
sticky situation, you break your back, you are fucked. Like that's
Yeah,
just
you're
that's the injury that you're like, I'm done. I'm already in a shit situation, and now I'm in a second shit
okay.
situation.
Okay.
That's too many shit situations.
And then think about this: you wake up day 2, and the fucking vines are crawling and
eating you?
your legs,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, I can't
Mhm.
run, I can't do
Yeah.
anything. It's like I don't know, man. At that point, if it's me, maybe I'm thinking like, how can you guys sacrifice me to escape? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it. Like these things are eating me alive, and even if you cut my fucking legs off, there's no way you guys are running through the fucking jungle with me on a backboard, down a fucking pyramid, then through the jungle to a jeep. No, thank you. I'm fucked either way. Like
At
the
that
best
point,
case
you strap
scenario.
him.
Yeah, the best case scenario is you survive all that shit just to come out and to die in some Mexican hospital of infections you got from the fucking things.
Here's
treating-
what they should
treating you
like
with
if
shit
he was
water.
trying to sacrifice himself. He's like, he would have been like, I need to save these people. He's like, strap me to the backboard and make me go down the stairs.
Slide me
Like,
down them
with a sled.
stairs.
Slide me down Home Alone.
Human
style.
shield.
I'm gonna
Be
Kevin
coming at them.
McAllister this shit
Yeah.
right now.
Human
And then you
shield.
guys run the other
all
way.
all of you hold me and then just use me for the arrows or the guns or whatever and just
Mhm.
throw the fucking, plants at them as you're advancing on them and just make a
Yes.
path for yourselves.
And I'm still like they were tourists, right? And I get like they were supposed to be on a touristy thing, but still, I'm like, hey, girls don't have nearly enough sun coverage for a tourist
Ooh.
outing in Mexico.
Yeah.
And 2, y'all knew you're gonna be hiking and nobody brought that much water. You bought like an Evian water at the fucking gas station, and that's all you
Uh,
brought.
Fucking Amy had flip-flops.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, you guys are not dressed to be hiking. You have flip flops. You're in cargo shorts. You're like, no, you're not. No.
I know, and like they're hiking through this junk. I'm like, that you guys are getting ticks. None of y'all are wearing hats. Like,
Well, one of them lost it, remember? They
oh
went at the
yeah,
back of
Yes,
the-
because they bought them. Yeah, that's right. They bought those Mexican cowboy hats.
the
and they
ominous
lost him when they jump on the back.
is that ominous long shot of the hat while the Jeep is driving away.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I
the pickup
love-
truck.
Like,
I love how the Mexican taxi. He's like, no, like we don't go here.
No, that's bad. That's a bad place.
I take you to other
he's like,
people.
here's $40.
What are you gonna do? He's like, $40. Like, I take you, get in. I don't care if you die.
Take
It's
you,
your
I
Like,
leave
okay.
you. I don't have to go
Like,
visit
okay.
the temple with you. I told you no, don't do it.
whatever happens.
And I
happens.
thought it
Hey.
was funny when he drops him off and one of the girls looks back. She's like, why is he leaving? How are we going to get a hold of him? He's like, we have our phones.
Yeah. No, and I love when they find the Jeep. I'm like, so you guys just had this Jeep this whole time? Like, this is your brother's Jeep and he left you with this Jeep? Like, we didn't have to pay to come out here? Like, where'd you rent this Jeep from? We could have rented a
Mhm.
car.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was the chick's Jeep. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying I'm not trusting a pickup truck taxi in the middle of nowhere.
With
What
a
the
killer
heck I
dog.
get off? He's just the
Yeah.
one taxi in the city. Like, what are you gonna do if
Well,
he's
it's
not
not like
working?
what is he gonna do? He's gonna go back and take a nap. So it doesn't matter. Like he's at the ready whenever. Just park right there by the bus.
What if he doesn't want to work no more? You're just stuck.
You're like, I'm done.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
I'll pick you up in the
see,
morning.
no. Mm-mm.
Uh,
It's way too many cracks to be falling through for my ass. Oh,
There's just too many red flags for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm not going. It's like, and to me, it's like you're telling people, oh, that there's this dig that's not on the map anywhere. I'm like, okay, yeah, no. He's like, you're not selling me with all the stuff that you're telling me. You're saying that maybe nobody's ever seen this. I'm like, I don't care.
yeah.
There's a reason probably nobody's ever seen it, and I don't want to know why.
no,
I'm-
that goes into whiny Amy's whole thing. Why was the path covered? Why was the path
Yeah.
covered?
That's
Jeff?
true. Yeah.
'Cause
Amy
I'm like,
was
again, she's presenting
"Whoa."
that sound point of view. Be like, there's a reason this is covered, guys.
You know what all these movies that we've watched this month have really just taught me is that when shit starts adding up, just start counting it out loud. Being like, that's two, Jeff. That's two
There
weird
we go.
things.
There it is.
Two weird things.
It's like you
And
only
then-
get 3.
Yeah. So the next time something comes up, you number it again. And like, look, guys, this is 3. This is the third
That's a
strike
trend.
rule. All right.
It's like it's a trend now. It's like nothing's
Why is it
trending
covered?
downwards. It's
Why is it
trending this
covered?
way.
Why is it covered? That don't make no sense. So it's off all the maps
And
except
if,
for this one, and the path was covered. I don't know. That's just it
And
seems a little murderous.
and when they were walking through, when they find the path and they're going through, Eric has this line that's pure like foreshadowing, but he says, "Didn't the Mayans die of some fucked up disease?" Yeah, because then his next line was like, "We could be walking on a graveyard right now." Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably true. I love when they see the sad kids. They're just like, "Hey, kids."
yeah, I'm
They're
like
trying
those
to
kids
communicate
are those kids are just like the watch, like they're just the ones that were that was their watch duty. That's why there's 2 of them, because I was like,
Mhm.
if someone finds the path, one of you come get us. If they all go on the path, you come tell us.
I know, and I love that the little girl just stays there and it's like, those bitch asses are gonna die. Like that's
That's the
just the
thing.
face she had.
She has to count how many. Okay, they all went through. I can leave my post now. If one stays, I gotta stay. Like,
It's like
Yeah.
time to go tell. Time to go tell. They went and they're like those dum dums moved the palm trees or whatever it was, those
Well, and-
branches.
And see, like, here's my thing. If you're these Mayans, right? So we need to decide if the Mayans were keeping them there to like sacrifice them to these plants, or if they are just keeping everybody away from it. But if they're keeping everybody away from it, put up a sign.
okay, what sign do you put
No
up?
trespassing. This is Mayan
They
ground.
don't
You will be
Speak
murdered.
English. They don't speak Spanish.
Just dangeroso. Yes. just-
Dangeroso?
I don't speak Mayan.
Is that
I don't
Mayan?
know.
Their calendar system ended at 2012. They're behind the times.
Well,
They
this
don't
was only 2006. They still had stuff going on.
they didn't know how to spell danger zone.
They could put up a sign like they did in last week's episode with Kevin Fever.
Yes,
don't
this guy
put-
bites,
yeah.
man. These plants
That
bite.
bites.
It's
These
pancakes.
plants
Stay
eat
away.
and bites.
Pancakes.
Stay away. There you go.
White asses will
The-
die.
Beautiful.
Just
That'll be a universal sign for pancakes.
no. Here's what you do. You put a body full of arrows.
There
Tie
you
it to a
go.
thing.
Yeah.
You see that, but turn around. Whatever this is, I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
I mean that's classic. I mean Americans
That's
will
just-
get that sign.
Yeah, everyone will get that. Everyone will get that. You see, someone was killed here. We don't belong here.
Even the oldest of us will be like, "That's some Indiana Jones shit. We turning around
Yes.
right now."
Like that don't look good.
That's
That's a
not
bad omen.
something that we need to
people
be
with arrows
into.
up ahead is what that means, without even saying a single word.
Mhm.
Don't need to know what language this is or what they speak. 'Cause
Yes, death
dead
approaches.
dude with arrows. I'm turning around.
Like, don't go there.
Or they should just like have vultures as pets. And then that way you see a vulture, it's like, oh, this is the Wicked Witch of the Houses, the Wicked Witch of the West's house. We got to get out of here. Like,
It's like
just give me some
something Eros is
ominous stuff if you're trying to keep them out.
I don't know. Their thing was more like, just don't let anyone find it. But I'm like, they don't know about satellites or anything like that.
But like, they had to have they had normal clothes almost. So like, they've had to have
Well, you know,
gone into the town,
you know, if
right?
someone comes in, you know, they drop a pack, they get eaten by the plants, you know, the
Take
plants
their
fine.
shit.
You know, you find a shirt, you find a,
Well, I'm saying like they just left the vehicle alone.
I guess.
Wow.
So I'm like, maybe they just need some pointers from our backwoods
Well,
people.
maybe they
take, our backwoods people take all their stuff and put it in a collective,
It's more resourceful.
Yeah,
But
they
I don't- they don't
divvy it
speak-
up among.
But they don't speak Spanish.
No,
how,
they
are they
don't.
gonna, how are they gonna sell a truck?
I don't know. I don't know. There's some questions I have about this.
And are they salt miners as well? 'Cause
They
where are
have
getting all
tons
this
of salt. Yeah,
They-
see, that's
yeah,
what
they
I'm
have,
saying.
yeah.
They've got to have some sort of trading system with the town.
So why?
Is
Why
there
would
salt
they?
mines in Mexico? I don't know.
I don't know.
We have a salt mine down the road from us. Why wouldn't there be a salt mine? There could be salt mines anywhere.
I don't know.
It's, you know, where the salt is. That's where you mine.
Do you know where the salt is? Well,
Down the road at the
you
mine.
look in the ground. You say, "Ooh, it's salty." I
Hey.
guess that's how
Salty here, dig.
how the stuff was found.
get it.
Just so we're clear, that's how they
That
found
doesn't
the
taste like
stuff.
salt. What is this?
They're like, "There's some bubbly shit coming up out of the ground. Let me taste that." This is the
Like
tip.
this stuff. Be like, what the hell?
Just sell it as a dessert. All-purpose
Yes.
food. Anyway,
Mhm.
moving on. Check. That's marketing.
But anyway, the CGI. I'm not sure if it's the 2006 CGI or the idea of it is just so preposterous to me. But when they go down into the cave looking for the phone that's ringing and the little flowers are just ringing, I'm just like, oh.
That could have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing you got to think about it is I read, what is it that I saw somewhere recently where you don't know bad CGI until you see good CGI.
Yeah. And like,
So some of the CGI that we see now is like really, really good. And when you go back and see stuff that you thought was good at the time, you see how bad it actually is.
yeah, and I don't think, compared to like, I didn't hate the CGI when everything started coming after them. I thought that was fine. And even the CGI of like the vines in Stacy later on when you see it like through her body.
Yeah.
I didn't mind those parts, but there's something about the ringing plants. I was just like, I don't know about that. Because I was like, why would it just be right there?
To draw them in.
But just like, it would be
Yeah.
like so small. And it also seemed like it kept changing to draw them in further.
Well, yeah, it's the thing.
Yeah, because it made it.
It is.
Yeah.
Hard. So I'm like, is it a conscious plant? Like,
See, that's what I think, and maybe that's why, like, from the Mayans' perspective, they're like, we know how smart it is. That's why we can't let it get out. But again, why wouldn't you kill it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they've tried. Maybe that's why they lost so many people, and that's why they're like, we've contained it to this, and this is as far as we're going to keep it from forever, basically. I don't know.
I was.
Just burn the damn thing is what I'm thinking. Like, just set it on fire.
I have questions because they said like it's growing on our clothes, right? It started.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so is it like microscopic pieces? Like, is enough to start like a full
Then
on
maybe
like,
that's why when like the thing hit the kid and like just the dust.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
they were
touch-
Doors, like the seeds or whatever need to be.
Yeah, like maybe you already inhaled it, like you're done. Like maybe that's why we just gotta kill you. Like
I guess I'm just like that kid could have stripped naked. It could have hosed him
Yeah.
down real quick.
salted him. I don't
Yeah,
know what,
right?
But it's like,
Make them take us all back.
Try something.
I mean, it's either they're just lack of understanding or they're just total like we don't know how it gets out, but we're just you touched it, you're done. Like that's it. It's the
Well,
rule.
yeah, Jeff does
Yep.
make that, or I think Amy Manga says we're being quarantined.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
dagger.
I mean, it's their own dumbass fault.
Yes. Gotta Go travel and look for new stuff.
I mean, if you're not supposed to be there, maybe don't be there. That's all.
Yes. Well, like I agree earlier, is like we need to have signs to know where not to go. If it says no trespassing, like okay.
I mean, even like you said, like with the guy with the arrows, but even like a skull, I think would not be enough to be like, okay, this is clearly not the way to go. Yeah,
A wall.
They're going the
death was
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah,
Past this
one
point.
skull is not enough for me. Like you want a definitive, like no turnaround.
make a fence.
But if skull was like, okay, that's 4, right? If you're like, okay, the thing was covered, there's this ominous child in the middle of the forest just looking sad at the sight of us, and then you see the skull, that's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, and I'm a
That's
child
too
that's just
many.
like, no, please don't.
Don't go, you're gonna die.
No, please. Okay.
Our whole village is gonna watch you die.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I did feel so bad for
Thorns, like
Jake.
plant a thorn bush. Like if you're like, okay, we have to go through this. Wait, thorn bush? Fuck this. Let's go back to that town. We'll have the taxi guy take us to the other pyramids he was talking about. At least we did something today, right? Like, yeah, thorn bush is where I draw the line. Cross the stream, it goes this way, but thorn bush, stop. Let's go.
Well, the thing that they should have thought about it though too is you put little like warning signs. Like, okay, you see, like you said, you see one skull, you're like, okay, that's a little odd. And then the further in you get in, you start putting more stuff to be like, okay, that's just creepy. Let's turn around.
Yeah, just know your creepy ominous sign limit. Mine's 3. If I see 3, I'm out.
I kind of call BS on
Yes.
what's in Mexico because like you get like all of North America.
Well, maybe in
Canada,
2006.
Mexico. I don't know. I don't remember. You should have lived something. I don't know. The Mayans could probably sell oil and put a cell phone up there and be
Seriously,
rich.
they
And,
probably could.
live like wealthy beyond what they live now.
They could probably sell the plant to some researchers.
There you go.
That's like, okay, that is complete like warmongering.
Yeah.
Like you can sell out to the right dictator, like you are rich.
Mhm.
You're like, look,
Unleash this on the continent, they'll be fucked. The whole
Yeah.
continent.
yeah, you could topple nations in days. That's all I'm saying.
Like come invade me. That's fine. Just go through this little patch of foliage through here first.
Right? Like, yeah.
Imagine-
the
no, like
Mayans
it-
should have sold the shit.
Yeah, like imagine you put one of those plants, right, in just like a box and send it to someone. Cool. Or like the Mayans get rich. Like,
Yeah, I like the whole. I'm sad that they all had to die to kind of get to the end because I really feel like if they just would have went with what's his face's plan, they're like, you guys make a distraction. I'm gonna run for the Jeep. I mean, they had the
he
keys
could have made it.
and everything.
Yeah.
They totally could have made it, especially if they had made like a big scene about like maybe like Eric died, right? Because they know that they're being watched,
Yeah.
right, from below, or they very least know the Mayans are listening to them. So you just make it seem like you had to kill him, and he's not around anymore. And then you do the same thing, like
Okay, here's what you do.
and then you run.
Here's what you do, right? You use his shirt or something. You found that other body, right? The one that I think it was Heinrich, right? The one that Jeff finds in the vine.
Oh yeah,
I think that was Heinrich, right? So use that body, right? Dress him up, wrap him up or whatever, and be like, can we burn our friend? Let him, and then just, burn him while he runs and escapes or something, right?
we'll see. They could
Some sort of diversion, like
Yeah.
anything, right? You have a fucking pinecone war with the goddamn plant buds or whatever, and so just distract them enough to where like he could run to the fucking Jeep, man.
right. You have a snowball fight.
No, I had a joke in my head that at the end when whiny Amy finally runs and like she gets to the Jeep and she's like, "Fuck, I can't drive stick."
right.
Like, what, Amy? Like wouldn't that
Now
be
you
some
should teach
shit?
all
No.
of your children how to drive on a stick.
And how to change a tire
Yes.
at least, man.
I do live
Yes.
in like Amy is me running out of a scary situation. Like she doesn't stop it. Like even when she's on the road, she's like, okay. Like she's not calming down. She's just like, okay, I'm here now. I have to focus on driving. Like I like that. She's like, she's not saying she's safe until she's
Yeah.
fucking out of there. It's like
There's I read in the trivia that there's, I don't know if it's an alternate ending or a deleted.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
She's supposed to look in the rearview mirror and then you see it in her eye.
Ooh.
I like that it just kind of left it open, like you have no clue what happens. Like something
Yeah.
could happen, nothing could happen.
Well, like they said, it's on their clothes because
Yeah.
we saw it growing on.
But still, man, I'm like, if you burn that shit, like shave your head, on your pubes,
Yeah,
like every hair on your body, burn all your fucking clothes. Like,
take a salt bath. Take
yes, like
whatever.
fucking,
Or take a bath and sanitizer.
ugh, yeah, I don't know. Man. Had you ever feel like not?
No.
I don't know.
Like,
Where
you
would
need to
you
give me a CAT scan. I need
like,
to see every bit of my body
Make
and
sure
what's
they're
going on.
absolutely. Yeah. See, that's the fucking. Oh, this would be a dream sequel. This all happens like right, like everything I just said. Shaves everything. Gets back to the States. They think she's crazy. Then weird fucking shit starts growing. And like this.
Yes.
Finally, it goes from there.
Starts growing out of her.
Yes. It's like it starts absorbing other patients to gain more. Like, yeah.
I know you could do a lot with
This
it.
could be like crazy fucking like the plant people.
I know. I really
weird.
felt so bad for Stacy though. I mean, like we said, her death was the worst, but like
Yeah.
the going crazy portion of it, like I felt so bad for her that she ends up stabbing Eric, and like she kind of figures out what she did,
Yeah.
but you could tell she's so crazy, and like you don't
It's
even
like-
know
it's
what's
a
going
weird-
on in her brain, right?
It's like it's a weird moment of clarity after she stabbed him. Like it's how fucked up the situation was for her and her mental state.
yeah,
That it's like stabbing him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just stabbed someone. Like fuck, what's going on? Like, yeah.
and then like it's so tragic that the best thing to do is to kill her.
it really was. It was like, but what do you?
Yeah.
It's like even when you think in that situation, where she's like, just kill me, just kill me, and like you automatically like, no, well,
But even
Shit,
she's like,
like-
it hurts. It
Yeah,
hurts.
she's like,
I'm
it
in
hurts.
pain. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, you just.
I mean, it literally like that's shitty to say, but it's literally like the best option for them at that point. Like, is to just kill her. Like,
I know, and I love
Put her
how
out
you
of her misery,
see
you
it. Like
know?
it's just going through her body too, and all the
Yes.
cuts.
He could have used her at diversion. Be like, you run that way while we all get away.
Mhm. Well, she wouldn't have stabbed Eric. Eric could have done it. He looked
Yeah.
violent.
Well, he wanted to. Remember, that was his plan. He's like, you guys create the diversion. I'm going to make a report.
And really, they should have just drank the alcohol. I wonder what if they just would have been sloshed the whole time, if it would have been able to eat.
maybe not. No. I don't know. I think straight alcohol, I don't think is good. Like tequila, because there was a big bottle of tequila. I think they had.
Yeah, well,
think
they
they
had. I think they had like a silver and a gold version. 'Cause
Yeah,
I remember
the
like
clear one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's good. So maybe that would then fuck them up.
And I know, and I was like, maybe that's why it like you see it come out of her brain that one time when she drinks it, because it's like
Mm.
if it because it does dehydrate your brain, it dehydrates your whole body. If you drank it, like sometimes you do automatically get a headache because if you're already dehydrated, and she would be
Yeah.
in that situation,
Mhm.
she should have just kept getting drunk.
Like yeah, that's
That would have killed him.
like yeah, that would have been the one thing. Like you have someone that just gives up. Like fuck it, I don't even care. I'm just gonna get drunk. I'm gonna go out. My terms, like why are you the only one not infected?
It's like that one guy from Cabin in the Woods or Cabin Fever. Who's just
See,
like
now
in
I said cabin in the fever.
Cabin in the Fever.
Cabin in the Fever.
But was this Jeff? He was just like went and hid in a hole for a couple
Yeah.
days.
Well,
They're getting
guys.
back.
Screw you guys, I'm get drunk.
That should have just been Amy. Amy should have just like, I wasn't even supposed to be here. She just lost
Yeah,
the
like
whole time.
while she and Stacy were down there waiting for them to build the backboard, she just gets wasted, and it's like, yeah, the plants don't bother her.
Mhm.
That's how she lives.
It's like, why are you always like, I have a theory.
Right? I mean, it checks out if the plants like need the blood or whatever for hydration. That's what they drink, and then you just dehydrate yourself.
Oh, see, this adds to our sequel where Amy is just drunk all the time, and they think because something happened to her friends, that's why she keeps drinking. Like, she gets sick, they put her in the hospital, she starts eating the hand sanitizer, and like, so they finally lock her away because they think she's crazy. Then the plant's able to grow. Cool.
Oh, when it gets out.
I don't know. If I was Amy and I knew it was inside of me, I don't know. I think I'd just check on out. Walk in, I'd go Terminator round, just lower myself into lava.
Become a car.
Yes.
There you go.
It's a
Exactly.
ghost car. That's how Christine was born,
Yeah.
basically. Is what we're saying.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
But yes, and then we get the ominous open ending with the Greeks coming. And honestly, they're probably too dehydrated for the plants to eat them, so it might not even.
start walking up.
Like we could smell it from here.
The path just widens. Like the plant's like, oh fuck,
God, what is that?
we
Ugh.
can smell the alcohol. One of them pukes on the way up.
Right.
It's just like
Poor Eric missed make your own taco night.
that's right. That was all he was concerned about.
That's what he was looking forward to, like the end of the vacation. Make your own taco night, and then I go home.
Make your own tacos and we get on the plane and go back to Illinois, apparently. Yeah, Jeff's whole speech at the end, I'm like, dude, they don't know what you're saying at all. They can't understand you. So what was the point of you having this big dumb speech? Because you could literally be like, just look at me, just look at me. Okay, Amy, now run. I'm not even going to yell because it's going to draw attention to
You could have
you.
just said random words,
And
banana.
look at me,
Or
banana
taco.
boat. Kind of
Make your own
lingus.
taco night.
He could have monologued.
Yeah.
He could have monologued about their plan, and they wouldn't have known what he was saying.
What I'm doing right now is distracting you because you think Amy's dead.
I know. If he
Not
wouldn't
really.
have yelled, would he even have got shot with the arrow? Like if he wouldn't have yelled.
Well, no, I think it was because he started walking towards them and yelling. So I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you walking towards them?
Yeah.
I know you're trying to make sure that their attention is on you, but at the same time, like, it really is enough that
Yeah.
you do anything extra. Like, all you had to do was, like, turn a little bit to make their backs turn.
Yeah.
Like, start going, or even go around the fucking corner of the pyramid.
No, like that's what,
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like, you
that's what
couldn't
he
even
was
been that
doing the
far.
first night when he was doing that walk.
Yeah, he
or
was
whatever.
watching that guy just follow him.
Yeah,
He's like,
and the guy
okay.
would like turn his back every time he would. So we
Yeah.
just keep doing that. And then they're not
No,
even looking
literally
at you.
just go around the corner. Go to the other side of the pyramid and be like, hey, man. Like, yeah, done. Could have did that with Eric. Like the first time you figured it out.
See?
Jeff could have been like, I'll go over there. You run, bro.
Jeff was just like, no.
I know. Jeff was like the most like, it was like he was almost too rational to be rational in this like
Yeah.
unorthodox like situation.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is such an extraordinary situation that is like being rational in a an irrational situation is not helping us. It's actually deterring us from getting our chances of survival up.
Yeah, no. And like Eric said, like one of us is already down. Like we just wait.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More of us are going to go. We should just go now. Like we just got to get out.
Run.
There's no one coming. Like,
No. Yeah. No. And I don't know. I do think that I don't know if I think that Mateus felt
I don't
the
know.
legs.
I don't know. Because like he said that he didn't feel his legs when he was down there in the pit.
Yeah, he said
He's
I
like,
can't feel
feel my
anything.
legs. Yeah, I can't feel anything below my legs. Or he said I can't feel my legs or something like that.
Mhm.
So I don't know. And like Jeff was like, he just saw it. It's just, an image in his head kind of thing. I'm like, I could see that, but like, I don't know. He screamed like,
But Jeff also like ripped one of his bones out of that leg.
No,
I don't know.
yeah.
Like, that might you're gonna feel that regardless of nerves. I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be a question for the doctor.
We have questions.
And again, like let that boy get drunk first. One drink is no. Like I
Yeah,
love
but
how
if-
they're
okay.
like, here you go, take this one drink. No,
But
you gotta give me 3 or 4.
makes you like your blood thins, and that's harder to stop the bleeding if you're. So I mean, like after you sear the
They were
wound,
heating a pan. Paul.
but after you sear the wound, like go ahead, get drunk.
yeah,
Drink as much as you want.
I would for sure. I don't know how. Like they were very much like we should save this alcohol. No, drinking all of that alcohol.
Yeah.
The time calls for it, bitches.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the scene where Stacy and Amy are coming back up after they try and look for the cell phone, and like all the plants come alive, and it's just moving around them as they're going up the shaft or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's got to be like the scariest thing for them at that moment, because you're like, the rope broke already once, like. We're trying to get out, but we're completely fucking surrounded. Like
That's
the
like-
wall.
Yeah.
They're-
Feet out of the water, and you know there's a
Yeah,
shark.
yeah.
Go, go,
It's
go,
like,
go, go,
what
go,
are we
go,
doing?
go,
It's
go,
like,
go, go, go.
and even then, I get to the surface, and we're still surrounded by the ship.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, yeah. I do love how the plant did like not only like it was like the fucking mind games that it played, especially with Stacy or whatever. But it's like every little thing, like when it started mocking her. And stuff,
Oh, yeah.
that's fucked up, man. Because I'm like,
Right, like it even like made her think that her boyfriend was fucking her best friend. I was like,
Yeah.
like
man,
this fucking
man
like
is catty.
this fucking plant, it's fucking like high school level, like I'm a
Right.
devious bitch. Like
Gonna break these two up before I eat
gonna
them.
break you up your relationship. Gonna eat your ass. What?
A really sassy plant.
Yes.
Some ghetto ass bitches up in this pyramid. Is what I'm saying.
Mayan ghetto land.
Mine ghetto plants.
That's
But
my
that was the
puppy.
ruin.
2006.
Yes.
2006. This was also a book, I believe.
I
Interesting.
think, it was a book.
The book was not published when they sold the film rights. They actually sold the film rights before the book was fully published. So yeah, the book's a bit different. Apparently, the Greeks are in the book. In the first draft of the script, they did not include the Greeks, but the director was like, "No, I think it's better with them," so they put them back in, even though they don't really show up until the end.
Yeah. Or in the beginning, it's super drunk.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just drunk. They're
Yeah.
just really drunk out.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their compromise. They were just in the beginning and the end.
I wonder if they get a bigger role in the book.
I think they do. I think, yeah.
And if you're a book reader.
All right. Well, we're coming back this week.
We'll be back eventually again.
We'll be back with one more traveling
Traveling
fun.
mishap.
Traveling
Yes.
film.
Adventures into the great unknown.
And next time
Yes.
we're going to Paris.
Yes.
So we will see you then.
You might
You're
as well
traveler.
just say one movie.
We can.
Oh, you're.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
As above, so below. We'll see you soon in the catacombs of Paris.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.